President Buhari approves immediate reopening of 4 land borders. A fact, 3 tiers of government share 601.11 billion naira despite declining in revenue. And stock futures soar across the globe as prices of oil increase, plus discussions to center on reopening of 4 of Nigeria's land borders. The program is Business Express and we're reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Leah Katun Babatunde. Now, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the immediate reopening of 4 land borders. This follows the recommendation of a committee chaired by Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed.
First, four land borders. The first one is the Seme border in the southwest. Second is Ilela border in the northwest. The third is Maigatari border in the northwest. And the fourth is the Infum border in the south side, while the remaining borders are directed to be opened on or before 31st of December 2020. Mr. President has also directed that the reopening of the borders, while the borders are being reopened, that the ban on the importation of rice, poultry, and other banned products still subsists and will be implemented by the Border Patrol team.
The Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, FAC, has shared a total of 601.11 billion naira as revenue generated in the month of November to the 3 tiers of government. This was announced after the FAC meeting in Abuja, chaired by the Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Finance, Aliyu Ahmed. He said companies' income tax recorded a sharp drop in the months, while other taxes declined substantially, but the overall performance is still higher than earlier projected as government continues to reposition for growth. This is the last meeting for the year 2020.
The threshold that we have set for ourselves and the commissioners have agreed is that at least in order to be able to help the state to be able to cope with the pressures they are also facing, that the distribution should not be less than 650. But unfortunately, in the last couple of months, you saw that we have gone slightly below that 650. But I think by all accounts, we will say that we've done well.
In the excess crude account as at 16th December 2020 stands at $72.411 million. Now, Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, closed its land borders in late 2019 over concerns about illegal exports of oil and its byproducts and illegal imports of foodstuffs such as rice and poultry. Inflation rose steadily after the border closure, driven by increases in prices of food, with the latest inflation for November standing at 14.89%. With the opening of the borders announced by President Buhari, What are the expectations for businesses and for regional trade? I guess our guest, like many Nigerians, is expectant. He is Eugene Obiora. Eugene, Doctor of International Relations and a senior lecturer at the Department of History and War Studies at the Nigerian Defense Academy in Kaduna. He joins us from our network center over there. It's so good to have you on the program, Eugene.
Thank you very much.
Great. Now, the federal government during Wednesday's AFEC meeting directed the reopening of Nigeria's borders. What are your thoughts about this news of reopening these 4 land borders?
Thank you very much. I think the federal government actually means well, because it's the subsisting government as of today, and there is no way anybody can do anything without considering the national interest of the country, especially the head of state. So I think he means well, but we have to be very, very careful in being overconfident of the benefits we may receive from such reopening. In the first place, when you talk of borders, are we talking of official borders or unofficial borders, or both? Because I know that even while the borders were closed, supposedly closed, goods were still coming into this country illegally. I don't know who is responsible for such flaws, but the fact is that the president means well by singling out 4 designated borders for reopening. This is to boost our economy. There's no doubt about that. That is on paper. But I wish to inform you that Article 3A of the Article 3A of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement states, and I want to quote it, to create a single, that is the objective, to create a single market for goods and services facilitated by movement of persons in order to deepen the economic integration of the African continent. If we have to take this article and how it relates to Nigeria, the point is, Nigeria already is a member of ECOWAS. We are a member of ECOWAS. And we know we are having problems of actualizing the dreams, the full dreams of ECOWAS, including the single monetary union, because of the linguistic barriers. Now, that is just one. Now, how do we think we can achieve what we cannot achieve at the sub-regional level, at the regional level, at the African level? So this is the problem. Because it's not enough to say we are doing this, yes, for the good of the country, and we hope to achieve this. There are anticipated benefits, which I am going to mention subsequently. But the issue is that going by the articles established.
Before we talk about the benefits now, what is your line of thinking now as regards migration?
Nigeria in particular. Article 20, Nigeria in particular. Article 20, Nigeria in particular, states thus, and I quote, agreement shall be open for signature and ratification of accession by member states in accordance with their respective constitutional procedures and provisions. In other words, this article respects the sovereignty of individual member states, not only of the African Union, but those who are signatories to this trade agreement.
I come in here.
Either political problem or insecurity. So the country is prone to conflict. And we don't see economic development, which trade, of course, is part of, going ahead in a situation of conflict. So the fact that we have this on paper, and we have this desired expected benefits, which I'm going to mention. One, improving intra-African trade landscape and export structure. That's number one. Two, creating a sound global impact. Developing better policy frameworks. Fostering specialization and boosting industrialization among member states. Strengthening regional and interstate cooperation. Increasing employment opportunities as well as technological development. Then providing opportunity to harness Africa's population dividends.
So, Mr. Eugene, importation of rice and poultry products are still on the list of banned items as we speak this morning. How do you see this affecting the Nigerian economy and perhaps our neighbors?
I think these are two important food items, rice and then poultry products. The government, I think, has an idea to boost local production, which is a very good and fantastic idea. There's no doubt about that. The problem we're having is that within the country, do we have existing structures and legal stipulations to protect our businesses so that while we are still banning importation of these poultry or rice products, our local producers can take the momentum and break even and even satisfy the internal demands of the Nigerian citizens? That is the question. But as for the idea, it's a perfect, fantastic idea.
Mr. Eugene, how do you see the reopening of these borders providing better job options?
Well, it will, because it will restrict the inflow of immigrants, especially the illegal immigrants into Nigeria, some of which are constituting security threat. And when I talk of security, both job security and physical security. So I think it's a very good idea because it's going to reduce influx of illegal immigrants and then give room for more Nigerians where there are openings for employment to take it over. And again, reduce, if not eliminate, the incident of foreigners constituting internal security threats to the Nigerian nation.
Smuggling of substances has always been a challenge. You had identified this earlier in your submissions. How will this make products cheaper and delivery process faster?
Well, making products cheaper is predicated to the overall considerations given by producers of goods and services in Nigeria. If they feel that they have enough power supply, which is cheap, public supply, and they don't spend too much paying for power, and maybe other government agencies that come with all sorts of financial distance on them, that will increase their monetary base and capital base, and then that will, the effect will be spilled over to the employees under them. So I think it's a good idea. There's no doubt about that. Yes.
Great. We are also on a campaign to bring down the cost of production. Do you see this in any way affecting the cost of production? That is one. And two, the commencement of AFCFTA also is just 2 weeks away. How will the opening of this border further lead to integration and international trade? Very quickly.
No. Is that all these whatever anticipated benefits, as I said it before, is predicated on the fact that one, African nations are secure, including Nigeria. That is one thing. Then secondly, the government policies to help local producers of goods and services. That's another thing. Because when there is a lacuna between government support and then you have insecurity there, it creates a problem. So whatever we have on paper, or either to achieve or anticipate as the benefits, is predicated on actually what will eventually be on ground. If we have peace and we don't have physical disturbance and threats, I think all will be well. And then if government institutions carry out their functions creditably, I think government will be, but if we don't have all this, we run into a problem, because there is no country that can develop or achieve any economic or trade benefits without a peaceful distance. Because when you look at the incidents of insecurity, not only in Nigeria, virtually in all parts of Africa, you discover that any ideal goals the government has is always jeopardized at the end of the day, because either investors may be scared from coming, and there is an extent to which local producers of goods and services can hold the economy of the nation. It is not guaranteed, and there is no nation that is an island. We depend on other countries.
Eugene, I think we will need to stop you there for now. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Eugene Obiora joins us from our Kaduna Network Center. He's a senior lecturer with the Nigeria Defense Academy. Thank you for coming on the program.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
More people have come out to appreciate receipt of the Central Bank of Nigeria's COVID-19 intervention funds. On surviving COVID-19, a woman talks about how she lost hope following the impact of the pandemic on her family, but she is smiling again.
Surviving COVID-19 series is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria.
My name is Mrs. Esther Boyo. I'm a widow. I lost my husband for the past 10 years now. I have 4 children and 1 dependent with me. And when I heard about the loan, somebody told me from CBN, and I was happy. I embraced. I went. Though it took some time, but luckily I was able to get it. And as soon as I got it, I put it into it. And today I have the birds. I have the cage, I have built the house, and I want to say thank you to the CBN governor. If not for the CBN governor, I wonder where I have been, where I would have been today. I'm so grateful. I have workers, I have 3 for now. And by the time the birds start growing, I think I will need 2 more when we start selling, because I intend to open a shop for the frozen chicken.
Surviving COVID-19 series is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria.
Over 40,000 pensioners have received their benefits with arrears in the past 1 year, also paid to beneficiaries this week despite the coronavirus pandemic to ease the lives of Nigerian senior citizens. Executive Secretary of the Pensions Transitional Arrangement Directorate, Dr. Chioma Ejikeme, made the disclosure while receiving executives of the Pension Correspondents Association of Nigeria, PENCAN.
Really have Mr. President to thank for his positive disposition to the senior citizens of Nigeria. And we pray that we'll continue to be able to take care of them so that the labor of our heroes past will not be in vain. A lot of people do not even understand. They know that they are working. I'm talking about there quite a crop of people who are junior staff. They are not as educated as the senior ones who understand PFA, who understand that they are contributing this and the government is contributing this part, who understand that at the end of the day you're going to get this or get that. It is left for you to educate them by virtue of your profession.
Oil hit a 9-month high on Thursday after government data showed a fall in U.S. crude stockpiles last week, Progress towards a U.S. fiscal stimulus deal and strong Asian demand also buoyed prices. Brent crude futures rose 45 cents or 0.9% to $51.53 a barrel in the morning, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose by 46 cents or nearly 1% to $48.28 a barrel. Both benchmarks hit their highest since early March, also boosting oil prices as U.S. lawmakers edged closer to agreement on a $900 billion virus relief spending package on Wednesday. From oil prices, we look at prices of other commodities in the global market. The Nigerian stock market is expected to pick up a bit this morning after the market advanced for the third straight day Wednesday as investors consolidate on the safe haven. The all-share index logged in a 0.76% rise, ending Wednesday at 35,493.15 points. Market capitalization finished at 17.783 trillion naira. 650.5 million shares valued at 2.287 billion naira were traded in 3,952 deals. Jai's Bank, Mansard Insurance and Zenith Bank were the most actively traded stocks. In stock futures saw across the globe as oil prices rise. Boss De Abel has a summary of market activities.
Stocks in Africa began early trading Thursday with Namibia's overall index, Ghana's GSA Composite and South Africa's JSA Africa Top 40 posting gains. European stocks are expected to open in positive territory on Thursday as traders react positively to comment from the U.S. Federal Reserve that it will continue to support the economy. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said on Wednesday that stock prices are not necessarily highly priced given how low interest rates are. London FTSE is seen opening 15 points higher at 6,575. Germany's DAX is seen 29 points higher at 13,587, and France's CAC 40 is seen opening 5 points higher at 5,555. U.S. stock futures were higher early Thursday morning as traders kept an eye on Washington, looking for clues about the prospect of additional fiscal aid. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures gained 96 points. S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100 futures also traded in mildly positive territory. Asia Pacific were mostly higher in Thursday trade as investors reacted to the latest announcement from the U.S. Federal Reserve. Shanghai Composite up 1.13%. Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong rose fractionally and Nikkei gained 0.18%. Boss De Abel, Business Express.
Now, ahead of 2020 Christmas celebration, early shoppers are already in the markets in search of needed items to make the festive season delightful. Uduak Etim reports that although there is fluctuation in some prices of food items in major markets in Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, traders and consumers want the country's agricultural sector to be strengthened for massive food production as well as low cost of transportation of goods.
In Uyo, the Akwa Ibom state capital, revealed that prices of perishable items have increased and a fluctuation experienced in other items when compared to the prices few months back. A bag of onions sold at the rate of 90,000 naira has reduced to 76,000 naira, although there is an increase in the price of pepper and other food items. The price of fresh tomatoes has also reduced, but a bag of rice remains 33,000 naira and 12,000 naira for the local brand.
People are not buying like before. Like before, one person can come and buy like 10, 20 bags or 15. But now, and it's affecting us.
If we used to sell 2,500, 3,000, But now, if you don't have 6,000, 7,500, don't come. You won't get better yam.
I need make the onions come down more than as in this.
Consumers say the economy has affected a lot of homes, as some of them can no longer purchase goods at the usual rate.
The price of things has really skyrocketed. Like as at last week, I came here to buy oil, and they said 3,000. Now when I came this week, suddenly they said it's 3,700. So it's something else. I believe that with time things will come to normal.
Food items are very, very high in the market. Something like stock fish, groundnut oil, tomato, fresh tomato, and a lot of things. Almost everything, they are very, very high. I don't really know whether we will celebrate Christmas this year.
They are, however, hopeful that the prices of food items will come down so that they can stock for Christmas. In Uyo, Uduak Etam.
This is where we end this edition of Business Express. Be informed that these and all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. You can also communicate with us on Twitter. The handle is NTA News Now and the hashtag is BizX. Business Express returns Friday at 3 p.m. Please be safe out there and know that coronavirus is back. Did you see the figures last night? Close to 1,000. Just keep safe.